Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Vision Pros Live. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellings. And today on the show, we're talking with author, speaker, Dr. Cynthia Bentzen Mercer. And she also has the title of a human capital strategist, which is new to me, might be new to you. So, Dr. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
It's so good to be here, Fletcher. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's dive right into it. Actually, before we dive right into it, start us off with a win. There's a lot of upset and suffering in the world. It's easy to focus on what's not going well, and sometimes we forget that things are going well. So give us something that feels good, either professionally or personally.
Thinking about that this morning, one of the things that I've been working really hard on, and the person listening that is the entrepreneur, the solopreneur will appreciate this, is really getting my branding and my messaging down to simplify. So often you can do so many things, and so it's like, but what's the thing? What's the one thing you're doing?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm finally making some traction. Is that people are starting to understand who I am, what I do, what I can offer, and then I feel like I'm adding more value, right? Because I felt a little bit living in two worlds for a while. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like my branding is starting to really make sense. I connected with a couple folks on LinkedIn recently that have 10 times my followership. And I feel like that's a sign that, I'm building some credibility. So as a solopreneur, that feels really good.
Right on. So if I was to recap what you're saying, you're getting clarity on branding and messaging. Is that accurate?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
And that feels really good, doesn't it?
it does. It really does.
And it
Yeah.
takes time. I mean, and I don't know how long you've been doing this, but I've been in this space for a while, and I'm telling you, man, it takes time to hone that through a lot of trial and error. Yeah.
It does. It does. I've only been in the solo space for about 2 years after a long, long time in the corporate world where
Mm.
that was done for me, right? You
Yes.
work for brands, and so it's a very different situation when you're trying to create your own. So yeah, it takes
Yeah.
some time, and I feel like we're having some wins.
Yeah. Right on. Glad to hear it. So, human capital strategist. That's new to me. So,
Yeah.
educate me, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big fancy word, right? But at the end of the day, I do two things. I help women in particular, ambitious professional women, um, overcome career restlessness because a lot of research that I've conducted has suggested that women reach points of restlessness or stuck or stagnant. And I do that through helping them self actualize and remove the barriers to getting ahead and aspiring. And the other side of that is I help organizations and leaders to avoid the hidden risks associated with their people and their people strategy. So for me, it's working both sides of the equation, and it's all about talent. So
Mm.
specifically, I work with women and men, but a lot of women who are really sort of getting in their own way. And then I help the leaders, men and women, to remove the barriers so that they can create a space for talent to flourish and their bottom line to see the results.
Cool. Couple things you said in there I want to bring a spotlight to, okay? The
Yeah.
reason I'm doing this is because some of the language that we use is ambiguous,
Hmm.
and I want people out there who might be your ideal client to really hear this. So when we talk about restlessness, and by the way, let's just say this, it's okay to be restless,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
because help me understand, like, what might be a positive thing that comes out of being restless?
Yeah. So I think about restlessness as there's a knocking at the door, right? It's a signal that you're growing and you're
Mhm.
you're ready to do more.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. I would tell you over my career. It's that I have more to give. I have more talent to offer. I have more to bring to the world than what my current circumstance allows. And so it's not
Yeah.
an indictment of the boss, the company, the job, the situation. It's
Yeah.
more of a reflection of you've graduated.
Yes. I like that. Thanks for putting it so succinctly and framing it so positively. Because when somebody feels restless, it could be like, oh, what's wrong with me,
Right.
right? And it's nothing wrong with you. Like it may be signaling you that you're ready for the next thing, the next evolution, right? Uh,
Exactly.
so I love
Exactly.
that. Then you said a phrase that many of us use, especially people in this industry, like, oh, wait, I help people get out of their own way.
Hmm.
So what I want to invite you to address is, what does it look like if somebody has this notion of like, maybe I'm in my own way, I'm not sure because how do I know? Like, what are some telltale signs of somebody getting in their own way?
Right. I'll tell you, it relates back to what we just talked about. One of the biggest signals is you're stuck and you see it as a detriment. You're stuck and you
Mm,
don't know how to get unstuck, right? So when I don't know how to get unstuck, there's more that we need to unpack there. When I feel restless in this calling, but I don't know what to do with that. I was on a coaching call with a person earlier today, and they're so concerned about what the alternative could bring negatively. Well, what if it's worse? What if it's not? What if it's volatile? And 3 months later, I'm let go. What if, right? And so it's sort of like, let's pause for a moment. What if it's amazing? What if it's the best thing that ever happened to you? What if it opens doors for so much more? So some of the times we get in our own way because fear, and
yeah.
other times, and this client had the same this other reaction as well, is while they can on one hand say, I know I'm ready, I've done all these things, they then self-doubt and they say,
Yes.
well, I mean, I think I'm ready. I think I could do that, but I haven't really. So there's so much self-doubt. And the first thing is, how do
Yeah.
we change the narrative
Yeah.
and create your highlight reel, right? What
Yeah.
is your highlight reel that everybody else is seeing that you're not necessarily owning and showing up with?
Yeah. Thanks for saying all of that. That last piece, especially. What if we begin to focus on the highlight reel? Because when we use that phrase, getting in my own way, and then you start talking about doubt and fear.
Mm,
I love getting curious, and I love defining words and everything.
yeah,
I want to get curious. What's at the core of doubt? What's at the center of
absolutely.
doubt? What's at the core of that fear? What is my concern? And 100% of the time, what it always is there's a story,
Yes.
right? There's a
Yes.
story that's fear-based or doubt-based. That story, for me, and I'll just talk for myself, for me, the story is what's always getting in my way,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so I love what
Yes.
you just said. Hey, let's change the narrative. In other words, let's change the story. And you specifically said, let's start focusing on the highlight reel of what might be possible if we took
Mm,
action, right?
right. Right.
And that automatically is whenever I start focusing on the highlight reel, man, that changes the chemistry in my body and puts
Yes.
me into a place of being ready to take new actions. Is that accurate?
1000%. And one of the frameworks I've just rolled out within the last 90 days is the 7-minute pivot. And the
Mm,
person listening can absolutely adopt this today, right? It basically is 7 minutes. That's all it takes. It's not meditation. It's not your daily devotional, because this it can be additive to those things. But it's put 7 minutes on the clock. Get out a piece of paper and a pen.
mhm.
What feeling in this moment is holding me back from this aspiration, right? But
Yeah.
what's important about it in the 7 minutes is oftentimes, Fletcher, to your point, we start with, "Well, I'm afraid," and we leave it at that.
Yes.
But the 7-minute pivot prompts you to say, "Why?" 3 times minimum. Why?
Mhm.
Because when we ask ourselves why at least 3 times, and we're honest and vulnerable and open, right? We start to get under the thing that's under the thing. And
Yes.
then we realize, well, it's that time I was rejected. It was when I failed on that similar situation. It
Yeah.
was I didn't like the way that felt, right? And then the point of the 7-minute pivot is you choose one small thing, small, that you can do today to slightly change your course, just to slightly change your course. And to your point, when we do that every day, 2,555 minutes in a year, imagine the different destination that you end up, right? But the most important thing is you're picking an action that's doable, that's actionable, and then you're not trying to solve the entire equation in 7 minutes.
Yes.
But you can get a long way in 7 minutes because neurologically, right? We're focused, there's clarity. If we don't love sitting in that feeling, there's an end in sight, right? It's only 7 minutes I have to sit there. And if we tend to dwell on things, we have 7 minutes to sort of get through the process and pick an action, right? So it moves us out of our heads onto paper and then move forward.
Yeah. So I signed up for your 7-minute pivot on your website earlier today. So I'm looking forward to getting that. Yeah. And you gave me the nutshell version of it. For those of you listening and or watching this, go to her website, sign up for the 7-minute pivot, because this is such a valuable practice. It really is. I love the part of it of getting curious about the why, and then going the next level why, and then the next level why. Oh, that's so beneficial. And it's such a great practice. And by the way, it's a practice.
Yes.
It might feel cumbersome at first. It might feel awkward. It might even feel really uncomfortable. But that's because you're digging, right?
That's right.
You're digging and you're having to look at stuff that you don't want to look at. But
that's right.
But that's going to get you to the place of being able to take that new action. So sign up for her 7-minute pivot. This is it's going to provide value. It sounds simple. It is simple, and it's going to unload a ton of value for you. So thanks for sharing that. So
yes,
cool.
Absolutely.
This show is called Vision Pros. So we're always curious, what is your vision? Share it with us, please.
Yeah, my vision is to create a place, an environment where every person is able to unleash and actualize their full potential and get paid to do it. Right? And get paid to do it. Because what an amazing universe we would live in, right? If everybody really, so here's the thing. Every single human being has talent. Every single human being has talent. The question is talent for what? And so often we chase the shiny object that may not be a great fit for us. And like I like to say, like a beautiful pair of shoes that lures you in, if they don't fit, the blisters and the discomfort are real. So for the person listening that says, I'm launching this new business and it's my passion, awesome. Like do that. If you're moving in a lane that just feels out of alignment, that you're having to steer really hard to keep things going down the track, it's likely that it's not coming from a place of your core gifts and talents, and it's not bringing you that level of joy. So I want every person who I interact with in the grocery store, at the gas station, on the podcast, to feel seen, feel significant, and know that they have such tremendous talent. Go find the thing that allows you to do that.
Yes. And I like that you just gave a variety of occupations, because it's not, that thing for everybody, it's not going to be the same thing. And it's not going to be like, I'm going to be the rock star. I'm going to be the president. I'm going to be the top of that company. There's my wife and I watched a movie sometime last year ago. I wish I could recall the name. It was something to do with happiness. And it was a Japanese, or maybe it was Korean movie, but I can't remember which, but it was about a gentleman who cleaned toilets.
Yeah.
Public toilets. And I think it was in Japan. And this whole movie was about him cleaning these toilets. And most people think like, what a terrible job. But this guy, it was his passion. Like, he was the best toilet cleaner ever.
Yes.
He took it so seriously. Exactly.
Yes.
Right?
Pride. That's right.
And it was just such a beautiful thing to watch. It was a beautiful artistic movie, and I highly recommend
That's
it. But right, we don't know what that talent is, and we don't know what your passion or your draw is,
that's right.
but get curious about it, right?
Get curious. And yeah, I was going to give you the example that I've watched housekeepers when I was in hospitality or when I was in healthcare that will mop themselves out of a room and just lit up, right? Standing, they know that that room is clean, sparkling, disinfected. It has their signature on it and it feels so good, right? So find the curiosity. I'll give you a very quick framework
Yeah.
to get curious, right? So for the person listening, I use the ACEs model. It helps me keep track of the four things. When you're executing in an area of talent, your natural DNA, it's affirming. So it feels good when you're doing it. It's
Mm.
not the thing you can do. It's the thing that when you do it at the end of the day, you're like, that was a really great day, right? I solved a big problem. I got to be creative. I coached somebody. I landed a big deal. Whatever it is, it feels really, really good. So it's affirming. The other thing is it's consistent. I always do it. It's always affirming and I always do it. I can't help myself. It's just how I show up. It's spontaneous. So it's the person that walks into a chaotic room and goes, wow, if they'd have changed the way the stanchions are and added one person, this would be so much more organized versus the person that just assumes the chaos, right? And you do it with excellence.
Mm.
People seek you out for this thing because you're known for delivering with excellence. And you
Mm.
deliver with excellence all the time. Again, it's all four things together. It's always
Yeah,
affirming, it's always consistent, it's always spontaneous, and I always deliver with excellence.
I
That's
love
when you
that.
know it's a talent. So it's an easy little
Yeah,
curious self assessment.
so good. Thanks for sharing. So I'm just going to repeat this because I'm a big believer in repetition.
Yes.
So it's always affirming. It's what was the second one?
Consistent. Sorry.
Consistent, always, and it can be always spontaneous and always
Yes.
excellent.
Yes. And I think I spelled aces. I inverted the E and the S. So it does spell aces when you put the acronym in the right order.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Aces versus spaces, right?
yes. Okay, got it. Yeah, so good. And so yeah, so we again get curious about what does feel good, what brings you that reward of feeling like a pride, right? Um,
Yes.
again, and it can be anything. And there's no one of the biggest misconceptions in our country is that we all have to be superstars.
Right.
And there's a lot of ways of living life, right? Well, at the end of the day, we just want to feel good.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
find that thing that feels good to you,
Mm.
and then become the person that excels at it, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You move into the law of attraction versus chasing. And I think as an entrepreneur now, one of the biggest things I had to learn when I moved from a corporate environment into running my own business is I was out chasing, chasing,
Mm,
chasing, chasing. And what I learned in those quiet moments and in my 7-minute pivot is when I can settle into what am I really here to do? What is my true talent, my true purpose, right? Which are aligned. Now all of a sudden I'm attracting because
mm,
people want to show up for the talent that you have to offer and that you can give them. They're attracted to that. You don't have to chase it if you're living into your natural gifts. And so
mhm.
it's a win on both sides of that equation.
Yeah, yeah, really, really good. Yeah, because it's easy to get caught up in the chase, right?
Sure, absolutely. Especially when you're new and you're like, I need to get some deals so that I can, pay the bills, right?
Yeah,
And then you get into that and then you're accepting anything and everything. And suddenly you're like, this doesn't feel as good as I was hoping it would. Well, because you're doing all of these myriad of things and you're not staying in the lane that really allows you to excel. Exponential success versus, um, uh, you know, slight adjustments of getting better.
yeah, yeah. Good differentiation there. Last question for you, because we're coming up against our time here. If there's something you would uh, want our listeners to take away from you, from your experience of this transition into kind of working for yourself or building your
Mhm.
brand? What would that be?
So I'll offer two things. One to the individual and one as a leader or entrepreneur, or someone who's building a business that affects more than just themselves.
Yeah.
The first thing I would offer to you, based on a lot of research, is start working on your future today. And what I mean by that is, even if you are sitting in the perfect time of your life, the business is going well, you love what you're doing, things are, awesome. What is your next? And how are you still always working toward your future today? Do your day job with excellence, but always know what's next and build upon that, because
Mm-hmm.
that's how we make certain that, life's messy. Sometimes what we think is going to happen falls through the cracks, right? And if
Yeah.
you've not been, and I say this specifically to women and people of color because they tend to put their head down, work hard, and wait to get tapped. Some men as well. But I want to steal a page out of most men's playbook, which is they're looking up, they're looking forward, and they're moving forward. So if that isn't you, start working on your future today. And for those that the person that is listening, that is building a team, that is building an organization with other people, that ACEs model applies to every single person in your human capital portfolio. So when you surround yourself with individuals that can't help themselves but show up leaning into their talent because they are so well placed in the role, it is a force multiplier. You will do so much more with so many fewer people and they'll
Mm.
have joy doing it. So drink your own champagne, as I like to say, but also apply that to the people that you are surrounding yourself with as you're building out your business.
Yeah, great advice. Thank you for that. Um, Before we wrap up, you've got a new book coming out in
Do.
February, but it is available currently for pre-sale. Tell us the name of the book, where to get it, and also please share with us your web domain. So if there are people listening and they want to connect with you or get some of your books, share that information with us, please.
Thank you, Fletcher. Thank you for that. So the website is cynthiabensonmercer.com. I know it'll be in the show notes because my last name's unique spelling. You can get my new book, which is coming out, as you mentioned, February 3rd, 26, but it's available right now with a whole lot of bonuses. It's called Human Capital Investment Strategy, 6 Steps to Cultivate Potential and Yield Competitive Advantage. So for anyone who is running a business or in a leadership position, I highly recommend it. And there's a lot of free resources as well on the website, cynthiabensonmercer.com. My social handle is Dr. Cynthia Bentzen Mercer. So on all of the socials, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. So Instagram. Would love to support those who are looking for a leadership meeting, an executive coach, or a human capital strategist, since we've now defined what that means.
All right, on. Very good, very good. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you being on the show and wishing you all the best going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And now you know what it's time to do. It's time to get out there, be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.